Hello everyone, welcome into a call it a surprise stream. It really wasn't planned today. I just wanted to get online, doing a little testing with this FlyJSims, trying to see if we can get our X-plane to work again for it. So, but anyway, we're gonna fly relatively, considering last stream, relatively short. Baltimore to Detroit. It's about an hour and a half in flight. I think if I remember right, I'm not looking directly at the paperwork. But anyway, I'm looking at the 727 sitting on the line here in Baltimore, Maryland. So, this is going to be the beast. Now, this is X-Plane 11. I know I forgot to make a change over there. Ooh, glad I caught it, though. I like to be as accurate as I can. There are days I will forget. Yes, yes, yes. Only human. But, this is still X-Plane 11. I'm gonna try to make this look better. Anyway, so there you have it. Again, X-Plane 11. Really, the big changes from 11, and I know if Austin was here, I'd be gib smack till the end of the flight. You can see it, the clouds. They're more, they say flat. You know, I waffle on this. Yes, the clouds are spectacular in X-Plane 12. But sometimes these have a bit more realism to it. I don't know. Maybe it's just me and my uh, uh, my age showing and all of that. It looks good to me. And there are days I just want to go back to X-Plane 11 and fly. I actually know a few that still do, mainly because their sceneries don't port over to 12 nicely. I get that. I've got one that I can't use, but that's okay. You know, I always have X-Plane 11 to fall back on. So, but anyway, folks, this is X-Plane 11. And again, like I said, we're flying from Baltimore up to Detroit, just like it says. And we're in the FJS. We are awaiting, and I haven't heard anything come out of the expo. Kinda hoping, maybe, sorta. See, I'm not waiting anymore with bating breath for the 777 from Flight Factor. I've kinda got a bad taste in my mouth this past week or two with them and their policies, and that's okay. Their company, they do as they please. Um, that's totally their call. Uh, but I really would rather get this aircraft in X-Plane 12 now. I would have loved the 777, but I just don't know if I want it from Flight Factor. So, but anyway, um, waiting with bated breath now for the release. Hopefully, they love the word that company I've been talking about, Flight Factor, love to use soon for the 777. That's what we're getting with the 727. Keep hearing it's coming. Ah, can't wait. But until then, we'll fly it like you see here. All right, folks, we've gone to break. So if you're still here, great. We're going to go into flight planning so we can get out of this negative funk, get into some positive funk. Hey, we're headed to the Rock City, Detroit. Rock City. Knows the group and band? Love to hear you in the chat. All right, there we go, folks. I'm like, come on, keyboard, work. All right, so let's get Sim Toolkit up here while we still have y'all here. Amazing. It says we're in break, and nothing on my screen show that we are. I'm going to take advantage here real quick, get the last bits of my screens set up, and then we are going to tear into this flight plan. All right, wrong screen. Wait, you know, that's what kind of stinks sometimes when you got too many screens open. Which screen do we go to? Kind of sounds like, man, I might be in the booth of some TV show out there, huh? All right, so let's get in here. Sim Toolkit. I know a lot of you use Volanta, and I'm not going to knock it. It's a good program. Um, I think it's missing some things. It may have it. I also was a little disheartened when I saw there's pieces of it you got to pay for. That kind of disheartened me a little bit, but I've always been on Sim Toolkit. Um, Mainly because I haven't yet found a thing in here that I got to pay for. And two, even if I did, it offers so much. So that's why I use it. From my flight planning to for the stream. There's a lot of tools in there for that, but there's also a lot of tools in it for you, Joe Sixpack Pilot. So, and then at the end, you can recap your flight, not only with the X-Plane beautiful replay feature built into the sim, not an outside download. You download, install, and then once you have it installed, fly your flight, then you have to turn it on where you want to start doing your replays. I can replay the whole flight if I am so inclined without having to use Twitch or YouTube or name your streaming source. So really, really love Sim Toolkit for that. So that all said, oh, and then I can add some features down here. With this, I can bring on my charts. I can, well, SkyVector is already free, and I can have that already turned on. SimBrief, we can add. And this little thing, it's another website out there, DATIS. We'll get into that just on the outside fringes. It's only for the U.S., Alaska, Hawaii, and Puerto Rico. And it's when you look at an ATIS in your approach plates, in your approach charts, because it doesn't matter. If you see the ATIS and there's a D and a minus in front of it, go here. I'll give you the website when we start up with it. And you can actually see the airport terminal information system, what the tower is reporting at the airfield at that moment, usually within an hour. I say usually, some get kind of late, shame on you guys, but I know, business first, then this, yeah, I get it. um, just like we're supposed to aviate before we communicate. Remember that one for us. Navigate, aviate, communicate. That order. They don't like that over there, them controllers, but you know, that's how it's supposed to work. But anyway, you can then see what is the airport, you know, what's the runway, what kind of weather, and so forth. You could be in Hawaii headed to Baltimore, and you could already know what's going on in Baltimore because of this. It's outstanding what technology allows. It can also be a curse, but it's also a blessing. So, all right, so I'm kind of zooming in here so you all can see. Look at the lovely weather. We're not going to really get the full flavor that X-Plane 12 would give us here with the weather radars and this and that. But you can see it here. But we're going to still fly over the clouds, through the clouds, wherever they're at out here to get to Detroit. No, not to Grandma's house. Sorry. That's the other way. Anyway, so, all right, and it looks like there could, and with it being light blue, that's why I really emphasize could be some weather here. All right, enough babbling. Let's move on. Payload for today, 97 pounds. You know what? Let me try that again. Payload, 22,310 pounds. Boy, that would be an awesome flight with only 97 pounds of payload. That is 97 passengers, or as I like to say, people who have signed their non-disclosure agreement saying they won't sue us for the way we fly, plus 5,300 pounds of cargo. Zero fuel weight, 124,066 pounds. After we throw in 24,150 pounds, it'll bring us up to about 148,200 pounds. So not a bad flight for the 727. Going about, I believe it's 2.5 hours this run. I'm sorry, an hour and a half. My bad. Right below all of this, you can see our routing. Terps 7 MCRAY, the Q178 to KOZAR. Anyone know where we might have heard that word? Sir. O's 2 for the arrival into Detroit. That makes more sense now why Detroit is the way Detroit is. Anyway, and 32,000 will be our altitude for the day at Mach 0.80. So, but anyway, folks, hope you all strapped in, ready to go, because I sure am. We're going to run through the weather real quick here. The weather in Baltimore, 240 at 10, gusts to 19. I already have an idea what runway they're going to probably give us. We got some scattered towering cumulus based at 6,500. Someone broke the sky at 10,000 and 25,000. I guess they expect us to fix it on the way up. 35 degrees outside, and as you can see, towering cumulus east to southeast, and we'll pull that information here shortly. That's a neat feature with NavGraph charts. All right, yeah, you can already see it right there. There's your cheat sheet, by the way. But I kind of from that already figured it out. Now, down over in the Detroit, Rock City. Okay, yeah, I know, Motown. You know, there's a whole lot of names for that. Some we're even not allowed to say over Twitch. So, 290 at 16, gusts to 21. Yep, 2 ones will be in use for us today. Again, that must be the same plane that took off before us because they broke the sky at 3,300 feet. I tell you, these pilots these days, that Expo just really. Anyway, 27 degrees Celsius and no signs of thunderstorms there, so that's a good deal. Even though it looks like there might be a pretty good cell just south of the lake. All right, moving on. Let's get filed in here. Oh, wants me to sign in. Isn't that just special? Simply just special. All right, and I know y'all can't see this, so bear with me as I go through. You know what? I'm going to leave it there. And the basics, my basic PBN. Huh, is it? Oh, I haven't used this in a while. All right, hang on a second, folks. I just need to do a quick switch. Oh wait, am I doing this the hard way? Oh, there it is, right in front of my nose. Now that didn't. Okay, that's what I get for thinking. There's what I'm looking for. All right. Sorry for that little interlude there, folks. I thought I had things set and ready to go, and I was very wrong. We'll go. And we are. All right, we're cleared to go 16 minutes after the hour, folks. So let's get this pulled down here. You've all had a good chance to see DC Center and everything that goes with it. That's what will control us, I have a feeling, out of here. And by the way, I know some of you paid attention have known that I haven't flown X-Plane 11 for a while, and then when I do, I don't do it online because of problems we're hoping solved. We'll see. We had not recognized, or they didn't put a message up saying there was a new version of XPilot out there. We downloaded. Make sure, folks, don't just go click, 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 click. Oh, the install. Okay, done. Because you will have screwed up. Slow down, read each screen, because what you're going to be doing is putting in that plugin for XPilot, and make sure you don't skip over the question that says X-Plane 11 folder. If you do, you're not going to install the most important thing next to the client is the plugin into your sim. So make sure you carefully go through. Unless you're not like me that just goes click, 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 click. Oh, okay. Now install. And probably I'm the only one that does that. Now here's something I don't usually see. Harrisburg approach. Oh, wow. Okay. All right. So let's get the rolling here, folks. All right. So to do this, I'm going to start first off, when you come to the plane, you're going to have to power it up. You don't have a way to put it with the power on unless you're one of those, just have that box checked engines on. Hey, go for it. So you're going to come over here. I recommend both GPU. Oh, excuse me. Now, of course, I get the burps. GPU and air cart. Now, the air cart will take about 45 seconds, as the real one would, to get powered up and giving air to the aircraft. Now, there's a unique quality in the 727 in aircraft history, a whole lot in it. However, one of the biggest things about this plane is it actually was the first one with an auxiliary power unit on board. meaning technically you didn't need air. However, for some reason, my version of FlyJSim, the APU breaks down more than it runs. Maybe that's how it was in the real world. It's first generation, so who knows? But anyway, so you'll come in here, click the battery switch. I always flip this over to external power, the secondary one down here to external, and then engage the external power. That's how I always do it, folks. Boom. Once the air pressure comes up when the air is received, I turn galley 1 on and one of the packs on. Once the pack is on, come over here, hit the second galley switch, second pack switch. And that technically is all you need to do for it to be in the state that I'm in right now. Then I'll head up here, put the nav lights and logo lights on to be nice to those around us to say, hey, there's power on this plane. Not engines, just the air units, but it's still good to let people know that. All right, and then we commence with the checklist. Now, I'm going to stop here, kind of get the plane set up first, then get into the checklist. So, our flight plan for today, we said 97 peeps. Okay, so over here, the airplane figure is weight and balance. Okay. Now, each one of these categories, fuel, packs, cargo, it goes like this. Full, empty, random. I do random. Till I get, where's my number? Right there, that in parentheses by packs weight. Till I get that close. 85 was pretty good. 93 is even closer. And I need 4 more bodies. Okay, so I'm going to give them the first class. If I could get it right. There's 95, 96. All right, we'll go there. Now, down here's your center of gravity. Now, what I try to do, I don't know any book or anything that says, you know, that I'm supposed to do something different, but what I do is keep it close to 25. That's not bad. But now I look at what is my zero fuel weight supposed to be. We said 124,000 zero. Try this again. 124,066 pounds. We are currently 119,910. So let's start putting some cargo in. Remember, it said we were to take 5,000 pounds of cargo. I don't think that's 5,000 pounds worth. No. Close. Well, actually, it is going to be kind of close. So I start with the nose. Put 2 in there. Put 1 there. I'm at 123. It's 1,200, I believe, 50 pounds each. 124,910. Slightly, you know what? I'm going to pull that off. 23.6, and we're going for 124.66. So obviously, the only way, yeah, we'll do it. All right, so we're pretty well balanced, and we're about 900 pounds over versus, and we're going to go ahead and get rid of it because we're here only 400 pounds under. We'll go with that. Now, let's load in the fuel. We said for fuel, 24,150. Currently at 25, so we're not going to mess with it up here. I'm just going to go each, you could do each tank or all of them at once. I'm going to do all of them at once. 25,010, we need to come down. Now, what I will do then is bounce these up to 10. We'll go with it. Keep my wings full. Okay, so the center. I really don't know how the procedures were to load these aircraft with fuel. I'd only actually been around 727s up close. Outside the military, which we never had an emergency response on when I was in the military, never touched a 727. Even we had a couple come in to Scott for the military version. And at Mid-America, I only was up with it a couple of times, not much. So we'll go here and load that way. And that, folks, loads our aircraft. Everything's done now. We don't have to go like with the 7.4, go to the refuel, then go to the load, payload load, whatever the page was called. No, you're done here. There's pluses and minuses. So the minus is, you don't have straggling passengers to wait on, or takes time to uplift and set you up with fuel to go from Honolulu to Tokyo. All right, once I'm done there, I'm going to go ahead, glance here real quick. Again, nothing for me to do here, folks. It's just taking that information. It's already loaded and just telling me that my V1's 120, V rotate 120, 132 for V2. It doesn't even tell me how much runway. Of course, SimBrief has the performance tables and all. I'm not going to worry about it. So I just hit set bugs and away with it. Now, just to let you know, there is a way for some realism right here by turning the maintenance mode on, and these engines and stuff could fail on you. This is that little culprit that loves to fail on me a lot. Click reports to find out. So, and then down here is a checklist. You can actually modify that. Read the manual to find out how. All right, so let's get in here and get on this thing so we can get out of here. Hopefully on time, because we only have 6 minutes. But I think we might actually make it. Keyword might. All right, so we just look through here, light check. Same time, we're going to do our tests. Okay. Lights are off. Buddy's home. Light check. No smoking light lit. Yes, folks, that was a thing. That was a thing back then. That actually did have a purpose back in the day. Could actually smoke on these. Oh, I hated that. Then they moved it all to the back. Like the recirculation system isn't going to circulate it. And then, of course, as we see it today, banned it. What was worse is what St. Louis did in making these pods inside the terminal where you could smoke in the concourse in the building. Whew, they were nasty. Man, shocked that didn't cause people to quit smoking. I know they complained a lot about it because they got rid of them. Okay. Just checking all these little light bulbs, folks. Yeah. Boeing and all these companies were in cahoots, probably still are, with GE, Sylvania, whoever make light bulbs where you're from. Yeah, a lot of bulbs on it. Wait till you see the overhead. Correction, flight engineer. Okay. Even though it's lit, I still click them. And you'll know when you get one that's been replaced. Couldn't remember if I did them. All right, down below we got 2 more to go. It's kind of funny we don't have a switch like many of the planes to check all the bulbs at once. Something for us to do, I guess. Oddly enough, we don't have to check that one. Hard to believe there hasn't been a bulb to place. All right, we're not done yet, folks. Oh yeah, told you. You had stock back in the day of any of the airliners. In any company that made light bulbs, yeah, you had a good chance of making some money. All right, so that gets all the light bulbs. Let's do one more thing. Okay, APU fire check good. It's good. All right, we're ready to rock and roll to the Motown. Install warning, we did emergency lights. Let's make sure they're closed. All right. Voice recorder window heats are now on. Lock airspeed warning. We'll test them one time. Light recorder. Gear pins are out. Papers are aboard. All aboard. Oh wait, I always get this confused. We're in a plane, not a train. All right, so 122.8 will get the common traffic unless we have center or approach or something. Out of Balmer, let's see what kind of. Let's go 1510. Now, one other quirk with this plane, and I hope when they come out with the new version, that quirk will not be there. I'll show it to you in a second because you're going, why are you putting the same frequency in the 2 different navs? Glad you asked. How about that? Who thought a 727 have a EFB, huh? All right, here's the reason, folks. Okay, here's your NAV1 information right here, DME. NAV2's DME is in this box. Now, I'm thinking where FJSims went with this is because it was already up here. We didn't need to put it down here. But that is, to most men, you show something big, flashy, and all. Now, women, it would be sparkly and all of that good stuff. They boom, they go right over to it. Then you give them big things that just stand out, flash at them, or and their eyes. Boom. Well, guess what? That's what they did here, folks. DME2 is a big number sitting right there. Yeah, but it's not your nav1, as we just showed you. So that's one thing that's a little quirky about this plane, but you can get around it like you just saw me do. All right, and here's that, and low on frame rates. What's new? All right, I think I'm going to go ahead and first, before we forget, we tried doing this yesterday as a test, as you know, as I did another flight earlier, kicked the rust off the C-90 in the military plane we did. Yeah, that worked great. However, there we go. We still had rust afterwards. We still, you know, we're still rusty. Well, this plane's kind of the same. It's been several months since we've flown it, and especially on stream. Why is it doing this? Why is Pegasus doing this? It was not doing this before Pegasus came on. What it's doing, folks, and I'm not certain we're going to be able to fly with Piedmont Virtual on this one. If you see this thing flashing up here, it is saying it's in 2x, and I'm going to try one other tool. I think that might have cured it. We'll see. All right, let me just do this, see what happens. And hopefully there'll be no repercussions on this flight because of it. All right, so what I have, well, because of flying with POSCON, folks, I have a utility I can open up. I kicked it up and back down. That seems to have calmed it down. We'll find out. No, it has not. Yeah, we're not going to be able to fly with them. All right, so we're going to go ahead and cancel. All right, so we still have troubles, and I don't know. This, I think, lies within their ACARS system, because now we're off and it's not doing anything. I'm going to try this again. Yeah, as soon as it comes online, we're getting it. So, I am again looking for a setting to turn any. Now it won't even stop. It's not even turned on. Oh, that's why. Okay, hang on a second. I thought we had that. Okay, I'm going to try one more time. Again, this is part of kicking the rust off. Nope, still doing it. Well, we're gonna try. Yeah, we're just nope, not doing it. It's just not gonna play nice. So we're not gonna play on this. Sorry, Piedmont, we just can't do it. All right, so we are back to 1. Could try POSCON, but we're not. We actually had an all-out problem with weather on there. So I'm just giving it a minute so I can cancel my flight with Piedmont. We're not going to be able to fly it on Piedmont Virtual. That's a bummer. True bummer. All right, get that turned off. I think we've been a minute. I know we've been a minute. There we go. Now we're canceled. All right. Well, that was a bummer. All right. So we can't fly for these folks. That's okay, though. Yeah, I always wondered why that was flashing. And boy, man, when I tried doing this yesterday, the plane was just back and forth, trying, because it was up, stop, up. And I mean, it was just really, you imagine, 2 to 1. What's happening is it was accelerating your time in the sim to 2, then pushing it right back to normal. So imagine taxiing like that. So, all right, important safety. Don't use Pegasus with the 727 right now. And what a bummer. All right, well, we're still good to go. Let's just run through everything. That gave us a good 10-minute delay. And we're going to go ahead and connect as Northwest 1137. Wow, they already had me set up with a PDC. Well, that's okay. Well, let's see. Let me bring this up so you all can see it as soon as I finagle this. Boy, that's a bummer we couldn't fly this on. All right, so you can see a boatload of centers are up. Boston, D.C., oh boy, which one? Minneapolis, New York, Toronto, so a whole bunch. And D.C. is where we are. All right, so they're telling us to squawk 1346, folks. One thing about this plane that will throw you off. Transponder's not down there. Then y'all look. It's up here. There. There we go. All right, so they want us on 1346. Before I budge, let me check anything for Baltimore here. No ATISs. Okay, double check. Thinking no ATISs here. All right. All right, so we'll just work with what we got. All right, so we got our transponder on and now squawking. Now, you noticed the green light didn't come on with it in the on position. It had to be on plus altitude. Whatever it takes to put that green light on, folks, is where you got to set that. Otherwise, you're going to be in a conversation till wheels up. Oh, there you are. Now you're okay. And then they'll be back in their happy spot. Because they want you squawking on the ground, mode C. Now, does that mean you got to be in Terra, T-A-R-A, or T-A? No. Actually, that green light's on is all they care because they can't see if you are. But, conversely, neither can you. And in this plane, you can't. You turn the XTCAS on, you will probably get a crash to desktop sometime in the flight. Be it in the beginning, most likely on approach. Sometimes en route. That's the two that I've seen at big time is as you taxi out, kerplunk. Or on approach, kerplunk. Crash to desktop, folks. This isn't just a, it locks up. No, it crashes to desktop. So all of a sudden it goes blank and your desktop comes up. So to get around that, real simple, folks. And again, hopefully to be addressed by our friends at FlyJSim, since they keep telling us they're getting ready to release the new one. Bear with me, I'm trying to find it. There it is. I want to make sure I read my procedure word for word, because I don't want to mess any of you up. To get around this error, if yours crashes to desktop, simply unchecking, here, let me do this, coming into the little cogs here, the options, unchecking this to where it says disabled or whatever, doesn't work. Or if it does, until you turn it back on, you still have the problem. You're going to have to physically do some folder removals. Not many. There are 3 folders. FJS 727-100, 200 Advanced, and the Cargo. All starting with FlyJSim. Or FJS, I think. Anyway. Go to your X-Plane 11 route, go to aircraft, and go into each of those 3 files. Then, in each one, go to the plugin folder. Once you're in there, remove the folder that says XTCAS. XTCAS, X-Ray Tango Charlie Alpha Sierra. From each of the aircraft folders that I mentioned, the 727-100, 200 Advanced, and the freighter, it'll probably say 727-200F Fox. Okay? Once you have those XTCAS folders removed, you shouldn't see a crash to desktop because of that. If you get something else, check your log text, let FJS know. My guess, they'd probably blow anyone off right now because they're trying someday to get the 727 out. Okay, so just wanted to walk you through that again. Go to your X-Plane 11 root folder. When you open that, look for the aircraft folder. Mine's at the top. In that aircraft folder are 3 aircraft that you need to touch. 727-100, 727-200 Advanced, and the ADV, it'll say, my bad, and 727-200F as in Fox. In each of those folders, go to the plugins folder, remove XTCAS, and that should eliminate your crash to desktops. All right, we have got to get this plane going, folks, since we are no longer able. Yeah, and now it's not doing that 202. I don't know what the heck Pegasus was doing, but oh well. I'll have to dig in and see where the issue lies. All right, parking brake sets, stabilizer trims are normal. Okay, takeoff config good, spoilers down, flaps up, and they're showing 0 on the inboard, 0 on the outboard. Fuel switches are down in the cutoff position, parking brakes on, stabilizer trim set, radio set now. Oh yeah, we don't have to deal. Looks like we're dealing strictly with one of the centers. Great. Oh, they're both on the same channel. Awesome. Awesome sauce. 133,725. Or in our case, 72. Because we don't have 3 digits.
I'm sorry, say again? PDC on your way. 2127 down from Delta. Response to Delta, please. You want to push and start? Response to Delta. Yeah, push and start's at your discretion. Call for taxi.
Shampoo flyer.
WashingtonHello.com. 12.5 to 9.
Shampoo flyer loves my choice.
.com 832 Washington Center. Welcome. Descend up past discretion. Maintain 3000.
Loves my choice of FMC. If memory serves, that's the thing. You gotta get and pay for the INS. No, not doing it. 2 reasons. 1, not paying for it. 2, I'm not a big fan of the INS.
Washington Center, Endeavour 251, passing through 17,000, Clipper 3 arrival.
Endeavour 251, Washington Center, descend by the Clipper 3 arrival heading south, the Washington altimeter 2971.
Take 971, descend by the Clipper 3 arrival, Endeavour 251.
Uh-oh, I think we just lost our APU. Nope. Oh, we
continue climbing up to 400 for American 243. American 243, stand by, I'll have higher for you in 30 seconds.
Washington Center, Blue Street 5064, and flight level 160, descending 140.
Blue Street 5064, Washington Center. Cross iRocket at 9,000 to Philadelphia, altimeter 2968.
Right, cross iRocket at 9,000, Blue Street 5064.
All right, let's get in here. Speaking of FMCs, let's get that programmed while we're waiting.
Center Southwest 5482, 6000 for 9 on a 150 heading.
Well, what did I do? Huh. All right, well, I'll put it in there real quick.
5482, sorry about that. You're ready to contact, climb and maintain flight level 350, clear X1.
No worries, climb maintain 350, direct Swan, Southwest 5482.
And Delta 630, 41200 at 8, gust 19, runway 28, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, runway 28. Dude, you are killing it.
Thank you.
Washington, good afternoon. Southwest 2200, flight level 33.8, coming 360, about 2 miles from Penzi.
Southwest 2200, Washington, welcome. Blue Streak 5064, New York Center 125.32, good day. Blue Streak 5064, New York Center 125.32.
25.32, Blue Streak 5064.
BTA to Bravo Charlie, moving to level 210.
Roger. Any Bravo Charlie, when able, say approach request indicate through Spirit.
And looking at the winds, we'll take the visual for 1-4.
Okay,
I really like you. Making my life easy.
Oh, for a second I thought you lived off the end of 3-2 or something.
Oh no. Just making it easy for me.
all right.
Roger, taxi via Alpha, good day.
Okay, so we're flying the TERS 7 MCRAY. All right, and then back to flight plan, next page.
243 heavy, continue our climb.
American 243, climb and maintain flight level 400, thank you.
Climb maintain flight level 400, American 243.
American 2254, descend and maintain 3000, and let me know if you need vectors around your clear to visual approach.
KOZAR.
American 2254, descend and maintain 3000, and turn right heading 190 vectors for descent.
Okay, and then from KOZAR, we have the approach.
Swiss flight 9808 at Butts, cleared ILS runway 23 right approach. Northwest 1223, descend by the Chelsea 6 arrival, landing south, the Charlotte altimeter 2990.
Let me make sure I'm on the right runway.
.com 832,
Okay.
which runway would you like?
15, please visual.
.com 832, you're clear to visual approach runway 15.
Clear the visual 15.com 832.
Attention aircraft standby, controller change, or correction, controller brief in progress.
Okay, so Zulu's active. We're departing 2833 right. Memory serves 33 right's way too small. Okay. So, we go back to departure. We're going to come in.
Delta 634, you're ready to contact, climb and maintain flight level 330, clear X1.
330 for Delta 634.
Yeah, the 2127 versus taxi. Standby. Actually, JetBlue 1630, cross Midway at and maintain 11,000, the Baltimore altimeter 2970. Blue Streak 5236, descend and maintain flight level 290.
290, Blue Streak 5236.
Okay, everything's entered in correctly.
1985, Air 251.
American 2183, Potomac approach 109.85. 832, Potomac approach 109.85. JetBlue 1630, Potomac approach 109.85, good day.
119.85, that's where we're gonna head probably.
Potomac approach, load information, I believe, collection information, X-ray current at Washington 80 South, maintain 3000, altimeter is 29771.
Altimeter 2971 will get X-ray and will descend to 3000, American 2183.
Yeah, 2183 to Lima at Washington.
Potomac JetBlue 1630, flight level 260, last controller gave us descent, but it wasn't exactly clear on what he gave us.
JetBlue 1630, Potomac approach, get back to you right away.
Potomac approach, you know what, Bravo passing 17,000, descending 14,000.
One Bravo, Potomac approach, hello. Information X-ray current at Dulles. Dulles altimeter is 2972, descend via the Hyper 9, expect a visual 19 center.
Hyper 9, visual 1 center, and X-ray United 1 Bravo.
Yeah, 1 Bravo is 19 center, we're landing south.
We check 19 Bravo, it's 19 center, United 1 Bravo. Potomac approach, Denver 251 is about 7 miles from 10,000. 70, that's it, Denver 251.
American 2183, reduce speed 210.
Reducing 210, American 2183.
And Endeavor 251, Potomac approach, hello, information, Lima current at Washington, altimeter 2971, descend and maintain 6000.
Down to 6,000.
Oh boy, I don't know if we're gonna get a word in.
First.com A32, morning, take wind 180 to 15, runway 15, clear line.
Goodland.com A32.
JetBlue 1630, get in via the Deals 3 arrivals. Baltimore is landing west. Baltimore altimeter is 2970.
Send me the deal 3, landing south for JetBlue 1630. Potomac approach beach 688 Bravo Charlie, level 13,000.
Number 688 Bravo Charlie, Potomac, standby. American 2183, turn left. Heading 240, report delivery.
Left 240 and we'll report the river 2183.
Potomac approach northwest 11 37, request push and start.
Approach here 2005 heavy with you 6,000 on the Gibbs 5 arrival.
I'm sorry, who calls for Potomac on the Gibbs 5?
United 2005 heavy.
2005 heavy, Potomac, hello. Information X-ray current at Dulles. Altimeter is 2972. Determine 10-3000. Expect visual runway 19 center.
Alright, down to 3,000. We'll expect visual 19 center. United 2005.
Number 688 Bravo Charlie, Potomac. What approach are you expecting at Montgomery?
Visual for 14, give it to us.
Okay, November 688 Bravo Charlie, determine 6,000.
Alright, this is where I begin to get a little flustered with them.
Potomac approach, American 2183 is the river side. We're crossing it about now.
21E3, you can start turning towards the river. You clear the river visual runway 19 approach.
Cleared river visual 19 approach for American 2183.
Okay, number 2, did you want to turn the wrong branch? Watch this landing south, a vector for final, river visual 19, make a right turn heading 270.
Alright, right 270 for the river visual, Endeavor 251.
Number approach 1129 2127, Yellow, look for taxi.
And 12127, runway 30, taxi the Zulu, Yankee 11.
Taxi runway 30, the Zulu, and the Yankee for United 2127.
2127, Zulu, Yankee 11.
Zulu, Yankee 11.
Potomac approach, northwest 1137 at Baltimore. Request push and start with Zulu.
There are 2 stations, northwest standby. Who's the other station calling?
I am not going to stand by much longer. This is where I really get flustered with
Delta
that.
404, where are you?
All right, well, we've got a total dead space now. Why can't I get any clearance?
November 688 Bravo Charlie, left turn heading, let's make a left turn heading 3.
All right, we're going to put them on the spot.
5,000.
010 down to 5,000, 8 Bravo Charlie.
Approach northwest 1137. How long's the delay till push and start?
Stand by, call you back.
Copy that. We'll be disconnecting. You have a great day. All right. Yeah, we're not playing this game. We're going to be a 45-minute delay. We're not waiting. Oh, you gotta love VATSIM when they play these games. All right, well, we're going to get going because that's just unacceptable to me, the way they treat pilots sometimes. So 2970 will set, and away we go. All right, let's get back into, well, so far 50% of the flight is going well. The ACARS system crapped on us, and VATSIM's gonna crap on us, so what do you expect? Let's see, will the sim crap on us? Maybe I ought to switch to POSCON. Nope, we're not. And goodbye, VATSIM. Alright, let's get the APU fired up. Okay, should be seeing movement here. Boy, that's just aggravating that, one, you can't get a word in edgewise, and then two, you're going to have to wait. No. I've been waiting long enough. All right, so the APU is fired up. I don't know why mine loves to do this. Everyone else I watch, it always seems to spool down. Mine doesn't. All right, let's get up here. Yes, we are going to power back. Okay, this one you don't have to hold, and it doesn't talk to you like the 720 or 747. It's going to take its time because I forgot to turn the packs off. But we reached 20, boom. While it's powering up, everything's looking good. I'm going to go ahead and okay, the oil pressure's up. Engine's starting to get stabilized. The N2 is stable. N1 is in the green, and the exhaust gas stable. Okay, we're at 20. See, it goes a little quicker when the packs are off. Maybe a little too quick, but again, nowhere familiar with all the intricacies of a 727. And again, sorry for such a late get going here. Too many things not seeming to want to work today. And should have known better with VATSIM, but you will. I think we would have had better luck if Center was doing it than that approach guy. The heck's my switch? Wow, the shades, the shadows were making that tough. All right, the engines are up and going. Gonna head over here quickly, get them on the main internal systems. All right, we're up and running. By the way, does anyone on channel happen to know where the 727 APU is located? Been a while since we've flown it here, folks, so I thought I'd raise the question. A lot of people love this airplane. I took away your cheat sheet. to a point. Yep, it's gone now. Good. Do you see any room in the back there for it? No. It's actually located in the wheel well. I don't know if we can zoom to it or not. Anyway, it is located right in here, and when it's running, you can see the exhaust coming up here, the heat plume. So, really, no other place to put it. You got an engine with an S duct here, 2 on the side, and really no room in here. So, another neat thing, FJS shows but doesn't truly model the infamous DB Cooper switch. Yeah, it's a lot of money, folks, went into that. Man, I'm here to tell you, go to a hardware store, pay 10 cents back then, probably get the same thing. It's just a lever that swings over the door so it can't go down. The legend of DB Cooper is he robbed a bank somewhere in Oregon, got on a plane. I heard rumors he may have hijacked the plane, somehow had a parachute. I'm pretty sure that would have been noticed walking through a terminal. No, maybe back in the 70s it may not have been. But anyway, ordered the pilot low enough that he could lower the back door and jump. That's the legend, folks. Look it up. It's true. Well, it's a legend. Money's never been recovered. His body's never been found. Or him, because he possibly could still be alive. But yeah, that switch, folks, prevents that door now from being lowered in flight. Oddly enough, there's an outfit now that takes DC-9s and either takes the door off or they do something, because they now are a jump plane for people. I know. Cracks me up all the time what people do. All right, so we've got the engines going. Let's get the flaps to 20. And we're going to power back, folks. The old days of planes wanting to fly. There are the flaps not moving. I know why. I know exactly why. Not all the hydraulics are turned on. All right, let me get into the checklist then. Rotating beacon. Did I at least turn that on? Good Lord. Thought I saw it. I did. Galley power. Air packs are back on. Yep. Okay. And start pressures. Okay. Ignitions. Pitot heat. Start levers, door lights, ground equipment's clear, yaw dampers, flight controls clear. Flaps are now 20. All right, one disheartening thing, folks, no aileron indication on your gauge right here. I have a feeling because there may not be one on the plane. All right, flaps are at 20. Here we go. Into reverse. Lights on. Brakes off. Power up. The big thing when you do these power backs, folks, don't use your brakes. Use complete throttle. It's total throttle control. And then once the plane stops, then parking brake can come back on. Use the throttles. Okay, we're out of reverse, taxi checks, yaw dampers, flight controls, green. One last thing to do. Trim. Now, yesterday when I tried this without being on stream, it was kind of like push forward real quick, then back. Push forward real quick and back. That's because we were running the Pegasus ACARS system. Once we shut it down, it seems to go fine. What way do I need to go here? Let's take, we can go this way. Out to Charlie. Boggles my mind, VATSIM, sometimes. Now, I could be very disrespectful to VATSIM and come online after DC airspace. I'm not. I'm just going to stay off completely. So that just really aggravates me, and it kind of sets a bad tone for the stream. But my apologies, folks. I just will not sit 45 minutes waiting to get out because of whatever is going on. That's, to me, unacceptable. But when you're the only real game in town, you got to put up with what you got to put up with, or disconnect like I did. I watched a couple last week or this past weekend with Houston and the rigmaroles going on with that one. So that's the dark side that why sometimes I don't want to touch VATSIM. So enough negativism on them. We're just going to blast off. Thankful to be moving, because we probably would still be in the gate. And there really isn't a lot of traffic. That's the saddest thing of all. All right, we're at the runway. There we go. I was going to say, is the airplane going to give me problems now? It'll be about par for the course. All right, so taxi takeoff checks. Yaw damper, flight controls, flaps, speed brake warnings, stabilizer set. Galley power's on, electrical system set, hydraulics good. Let's go ahead, switch to flight. Ground off. And APU is closed. Data, or takeoff data and brief completed. Flight attendants advised, transponder, even though it's really not needed. Going to TARA. And we are auto packs to normal, which this one I don't understand. I'll be totally honest with y'all. And geese per fan on. And we're ready for takeoff. All right, folks, strap in, time to go. Finally. Let's go fly with Mike. Set. Now, if you were a heavy aircraft or you needed more runway, you would taxi to that little jug handle there, turn around, come back. What it would do is put you outside the runway itself to where they could still land or whatever. However, I think we've got plenty of runway here. Great aviation term, I think. And we, okay, I for some reason thought we were different altitude here. My bad. Here we go, folks. Double check. ETAR 2968. All right, here we go. Wow, finally going, folks. Second there, I thought we were going to do another 10-hour marathon on stream here.
80 knots. B1, rotate.
You're up. And there's 400, so we'll notch it over just a smidge. One bad thing here, folks, the autopilot is right here. All right, RNAV to once. Bear with me, we're too close. Why did my needle jump like that? All right, well, we're got to get going direct wants. All right, let's try this again. All right, there we go, folks. Now we're climbing right. Flaps are up, gear off. 32,000, altitude select, make sure it's on, folks, or you blow through it. And we're on our way. Wow, what a day, folks, with VATSIM and Piedmont. Gonna have to do some research over there and find out what happened. If there's a switch or something I need to do. And it could be something as simple as the plug-in isn't working right. Who knows? There's 10,000 though, so first off, we'll turn the lights off. Okay, second. Double check our packs, make sure I didn't turn them off. I did not, okay. And then we'll go back into vertical speed and build up to, here's where I like this one, 280. Okay. All right, and there we go, folks. We're making the turn at Terps to go up to Lacey, then Buffer, then MCRAY, and then we're out of the airspace. And I was hoping to get a second stream in today, folks, but after all of this lovely trouble here in DC, I really don't see that being a possibility. Plus the problems with our friend there with Pegasus. I don't know if maybe I didn't send it right over to X-Plane 11. We'll have to look. Still not accelerating, so hey, a little more down, folks. Boy, it really... All right, folks, we're about to cross the magical 18,000 foot mark. Still got Alt Select in. Here, start closing the cooling doors. At 30, I'll go ahead and close them completely. And there's 18,000. Unfortunately, you gotta do the same over here. All right, folks, we're in and on our way. Thank you for being a part of Flying with Mike today. What the, oh, I'm like, what the heck did I do over here? Okay, I know what button I hit. That was wrong. All right, well, folks, we're on our way. And again, my apologies for what was going on in Baltimore. It is what it is. Can't change much, but we're on our way. That was, oh, and I can't believe my Airlines not working for me on X-Plane 11. So we're going to have to go through and figure out what I did wrong. It just stinks because I would have liked to have gotten the credit for this flight. But we'll get up to Detroit here. We'll have it all sorted out. Because for the most part for Piedmont, I actually do fly on X-Plane 11 a lot. Just because I can fly the 727. It's not flyable for the most part in X-Plane 12. So we use X-Plane 11. But y'all get, they call this, I think, the bowling ball livery. I'm wondering if it's because the red over gray is a lot of what bowling ball shoes and stuff look like. That's about as close as I can figure the name of this thing. So, but anyway, we're out of Baltimore and out to MCRAY. And just about actually outside DC's airspace on VATSIM, but we're not going to do that today. We're not going to bounce back online and cause trouble. Not needed. Trouble I probably caused enough in just disconnecting, but that's okay. They weren't overloaded, but that's okay. All right, that's okay. We are clear of DC and we are on our way. Click that off so we just don't get... Now it's just a smattering of thunderstorms ahead of us that I wish our radar could pick up, but it won't. Hang on. I gotta remember, because once you get the throttles up, it's very hard to get to the switch to turn them on because it's behind the throttles. Hey, he got it. Just gotta, crank your head and, do a little kung fu and, contortions and this and that to get in to be able to turn that switch. All right, let's go ahead at 25, kill the wing lights, and we're on our way. So, folks, I hope you enjoyed. Like I said, here, let me bring up Sim Toolkit real quick. The clouds weren't all that bad, but I see where the injection of the volume, because they called it volumetric clouds, help a little. The balance, I went from this to a little overboard the other side. I mean, like I said, they still look good to me both ways. This was never something that X-Plane 11 actually had no real heartbreak with the X-Plane 11. So, but X-Plane 12 does introduce some interesting, I like things. Or I should have, did I say 11 or 12? But anyway, folks, there are other things about X-Plane 12 that I really like. The scenery tweaked a little. Could use a little more tweaking, but they're a long way away. It was X-Plane 11.55. You guys could correct me on that, where they made the switch over to 12. So, got a ways to go. Altitude selects on. I just want to get us into cruise. Hope y'all are enjoying a little retro Sunday. The one sad thing, if I had to say something sad about Pan Am, they don't fly 727s, but maybe a route or two in Europe. They're all over the place back in the day in the U.S. with their 727s. And so far, I found a couple out of Japan. It just amazed me how they kept the 727 out. And of course, we've all, my age at least, know the great image of the TWA aircraft parked on the tarmac. I want to say Israel, but I know I'm wrong. But anyway, somewhere in the Middle East with the pilot out and the terrorists demanding what terrorists demanded back in the 70s and 80s. Just amazing how Pan Am just really didn't embrace the 727 abroad as it began to do here in the States. Part of that's because deregulation. You really didn't need them. You could fly a 747 on a lot of their routes. Is it efficient? No. But cared, they were flipping part of the bill. So, hence why deregulation occurred here. And why the airlines, some of them still have troubles to this day making a profit because of how low the fares have to be. But that's what the public, that's what your paying customer wants. You do what you do what it takes to get them to like your product. All right, we got about 1,000 to go here, folks. Like I said, the 727, a great aircraft. I'm from St. Louis, folks, so they were for most of my lifetime. Now, granted, the 707s were here. I'll be totally honest, I saw more DC-8s for other airlines than I did 707s. But the 727 was that big iconic airliner from my memory until they put that cigar MD-80 Super 80 in play. Not a fan of, as you could probably tell. I was very thankful when the 757 came along and started kicking them to the pasture. Just never ever liked that plane. Alright, so we're just about 0.80. I'm going to go ahead and start setting cruise power. Now, I'm going to show you some things about this plane, folks. If you happen to have X-Plane 11 or buy it, this aircraft is available. Now, here's one of the big positives I like with this one. Now, I flew the KBWI version. Yeah, quit cursing me out there for saying that name. I actually liked it. There was a couple things I didn't understand about it, and I couldn't find any documentation or any help with it. But I really did like that plane. We liked the Kid, another plane, because the way you loaded that aircraft in KBWI, the cans could be seen inside anytime in flight until you started unloading them. Whereas the other aircraft shows 4 cans going in, none in the bay. Once the door closes, they go poof. So, but anyway, beyond that though, that aircraft, I'm not going to talk much about it. It's not a bad plane. But this one, you can't do any of that. But, hang on, let me just get my cruise power set here. I'm still speeding up. And one thing I like about Zebo and PMDG, you can turn that trim noise down. Really gets annoying. I don't know how these guys, well, under a headset, maybe it was okay. All right, we're pretty well stable. Let me show you this. Okay, when you go here, I told you, you have this great checklist comes with it. It'll get you going, folks, if you follow it. You don't have to go out and get these other checklists. You get to the cleared for takeoff page. I think it's like page 4 in it. And by the way, you can get this how you want it. Read the manual. It'll show you some ways to do that. But down here after takeoff in the notes, your takeoff power, N1, that's this row of gauges here, folks, 97%. So basically it's right here in the yellow, right by the yellow, okay? I say these things, folks, be very careful with this plane, okay? It's not as much of a, where they'll burst into flames like a King Air we flew in this, which we need to fly that again. But be careful with your speeds, your turbine speeds. So N1's right about here for takeoff, okay, right at the top end of the green. Now, once you get up above 400 to 1,300 feet, we go into what's called climb power. Pull the throttles back to N1 remember I said it's this row of gauges, to 92%, so just above 90. I have put flames in the engines of this plane for not doing that. Now it may take it a little bit, folks. Remember I told you, maintenance mode is a wear and tear kind of thing. So it's not gonna immediately go, that engine's gone, that engine's gone. The APU, now the APU, that seems to go every other flight. But, and it also gives you flaps up by 200 at 10,000 to 280, 29,000-ish Mach 0.78 to hold. There's a lot of times you will take it up into the 30s. We're a little low, but that's fine. So I just wanted to point that out. Then you can go to the next one, and so forth. And you have a fire checklist. Oh, I didn't know that. Could have used this. Yeah, I've had engine fires twice on this plane, folks. So they do happen. And what's fun about them, you have to begin, first off, deal with the emergency. So you got a fire, you got to put it out, use your bottles. Then you got to begin looking for a place to put this thing down. And this is where sometimes knowing where you're flying helps. I just noticed I didn't do that. No harm to the flight. But sometimes, you know, it helps. But then get your sectional out. Get your maps out. And start looking for a place to land. It's not hard. Sometimes you can go right back like I did in Australia. Sometimes places like South Bend become a place for you. So all right, so let's get back into here, figure out where top of descent is. This will be the only flight today. All right, so we're over Avir. Cody is next, then KOZAR. So we're right on our arrival. Kind of pull back a little. So like right now, if we had an engine fire, where am I going? Pittsburgh. Most likely Pittsburgh. Looking around, I don't know of any other airports suitable. After that, Youngstown, Akron. After that, Cleveland. So Toledo as we get closer to Detroit. You know, so keep those in the back of your mind. And then, of course, Detroit. Oh, yeah, folks. You love it, don't you? 727 with a EFB iPad. All right, let's get down here and see where we are in reference. Top of descent, 100 miles. I think we'll probably start a little earlier than that. All right, let me bring charts in here real quick. We'll look at this arrival together. KOZAR's right there where it starts. The bonds to arrival. KOZAR. We need to be below 27 but above 24 by easy. Then bonds clink. Da, 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 da. Oh, sorry, folks. Hear the word clink and Hogan's Hero comes into mind. Commandant Clink. 8,000 by T-Bird. Okay. All right, so definitely is not going to take us 84 miles to get down to easy into those range. And Detroit, VATSIM's up, so that means somebody's up in there, probably because they know I disconnected. No, just kidding. sure they could care less. All right, but the winds are 290 at 18 gusts to 27. Hey, nope, they still got somebody broke the sky at 5,000 feet. We're landing 22 left. Where's 22s? Well, the good thing is, since we're not on VATSIM, we're coming in 2-1 right. Let's go real world. Yeah, departing 2-1 right, landing 2-1 left. What? They really confuse me sometimes. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Departing 2-1 right and 2-1 left. Okay, I'm not reading it correctly. We're landing 2-1 left. Okay, so I see what they're doing in 2-2 right. Okay. Well, I did set up for... I did set up for 2-1 left, so we're coming in on this one. Okay, good. Okay, landing, ILS, 2-1, localizer Zulu, runway 22 right, way over there. Are in use. Okay, so we actually followed directions. Oh, I thought we were on this one. I don't know why I did what I did, but okay. Glad I looked. So anyway, we'll land 2-1, plan Whiskey 2 for Joliet, and then we're going to head somewhere over here to park. This is the Northwest Terminal. Now, Deltas. I really thought I was on the shorter runway. Doggone it. KOZAR, 10 miles. Let's see. 8 miles, 24 will be... Let's do about 30 miles from easy. We'll start our descent. All right, so that's our charts, folks. Gonna go ahead, lock it in, get the charts out of the way. Now, let's look at our numbers for landing. Again, the sad thing here is no distances to know is the runway long enough. But we can set our bugs. So now they're set for 128 as our ref. Approach around 140. And hopefully our speed bug will be nice and drop below 200. Well, 250 by the time we need it. And look, our APU needs maintenance. See, I told you, folks. So we're going to have to shut 2 of the engines down. We'll leave number 2 on and use ground power and the air cart to before we start to disembark. I'll be right back, folks. All right, folks. Hopefully we're all out of commercial break. If not, welcome back. I'm back here. All right, let's take a look to top of descent. Progress. 36 miles. We're going to be a little quicker than that. We're looking for about 30 to 35 miles from easy, and then we'll start our descent. So hope y'all are enjoying the flight. It's been a challenge. Let's just put it that way. We got some more work to do in order to continue to fly the 727 with Piedmont. Otherwise, we won't be flying it with them. And we won't be flying an X-Plane 11 because I had some ideas for some other flights, but we'll see. I'm pretty sure I just need to reinstall the client, the ACAR client for Piedmont, and make sure I have it set to X-Plane 11. That's what ended. Oh, by the way, that's what ended up being. Again, I talked about this with Squawk Box. Oh boy, am I dating myself. With X Pilot, the client for X-Plane to VATSIM, you have to install 3.0.1 or something like that. When you do, be careful. Read the screens, folks, because you're going to install into your sims. So if you have X-Plane 12, put it in. If you have X-Plane 11 and plan to fly on VATSIM, make sure you hold up there, do what the instructions say to put it in there. I didn't, and that's why we had so much trouble with it. That's where I'm thinking the same issue lies with the Pegasus ACARS system that Piedmont, Virtual American, any of those, I wouldn't be able to fly here. So currently, all right, let's go ahead, get us set up. Wait a minute, I think 24 was the base, right? All right, so what we're going to do now, folks, remember, I can attest to this from the driving years. Going down, guess what's going to happen? Your speed goes up. You people don't understand that on hills. Conversely, going up, your speed goes down. Helping you with some simple laws of gravity. All right. So now the goal is to try to keep it around 300, between 280 and 300. Now I know that's a pretty big speed gap there, folks, but as you come down, you're going to watch the speed bug here doesn't do anything other than control your pitch if you're in IAS hold or Mach. But in this case, you want it descending at a set rate so you can hit these set altitude limits. Okay, 300. 300. I am kind of curious now. Hang on, folks. Oh, no, I don't need that one. I am kind of curious what ATC we have up in the Detroit area. Oh, ground is back up. Okay. Yeah, I saw them earlier, and yeah, they're no longer, you know, some heavies here. Dallas, is that an A350? Huh. Matter of fact, that's the wing I'm thinking about parking on, depending on where we come off this runway at. 15 miles. We're gonna be below the 27,000 limit. That's good. And we may need to start thinking about speed brakes. I was just curious what the entity was, because when we went to check charts, the VATSIM showed having a ATIS. Nothing important. miles. All right, so we may get to set the next one to 15,000. All right, so we're hitting the bottom, which is what I wanted. I like to try to stay on the bottom end of those when you have an above this, below that. I like to try to stay there. Oh, except guess what? I didn't follow my own advice. You're right, folks. I did not follow it. I forgot to turn on altitude select. Okay, we're coming off easy. We got 21 plus 18, 39 miles to go. As soon as we top at 24, I'll set us. Always make sure you do that, folks. When it turns green up here, it turns off down here, which means when you set your altitudes, it's not like the 747 where you put it in altitude select. All right, I'm going to go ahead, set us 15,000. Make sure two things, yellow and yellow. Okay, and then set your descent. Still got 12. $30 to go, so all right, see how we're doing. Again, as long as I don't get above 300, I'm happy. Okay, it's a good descent rate. All right, for the approach, minimum's 200. Okay, altitude select. Okay, we're about to cross Hummer, then Bonds. Again, folks, I hope I came across respectful with the way Potomac approach was, and again, I wish we could have been on VATSIM, but unfortunately, it is what it was, and we don't sit and wait 45 minutes for them to get around to us. That case, I'd rather do what Europe has when they set up those FSSs, 24 and below. You're on your own. Because if you can't handle the ground traffic, then turn yourself into something else. Let departing traffic be able to fly. Alright, we're starting to get a little faster than I'd like, and we're about 18,000 feet. Really? It's the wings. Wow. 280 at 18. Okay. Putting a crosswind of like, hang on, let me get some things taken care of here. Okay, you notice the yellow for the altitude? That's because these two are not in sync. Noticed it just went out because now they're the same. But anyway, how are we doing? 16. Oh yeah, we're going to make that just fine. So, I lost my train of thought with all of that, folks. Probably a good thing. So we'll just continue on. But I'm not going to be spiteful, come back on as soon as I clear your airspace because what you're doing. All right, so let's get some throttle in. Now, I am at this altitude gonna want us at 280, I think we're showing, or 300. I can't really tell where that bug is. So I'm gonna let the aircraft slow on its own. I'm also gonna make sure the seatbelt sign is indeed on. Get the wing lights on. And set up for 12,000 now. By clink. Okay. Then it's 11,000 at Timbit to 10,000. So right now we're actually within the altitude range of clink. So I'm not really that worried about it. And I might just set 10,000. I think I shall. All right, so after clink, I'm gonna plan 250. is it at? Yeah, it is. Okay. The reason I looked, just so you all know, it was there was a spat between a real-world ATC controller and a real-world pilot. Folks, these things really do happen out there. And pilots want to fly their plane the way they want to. Controllers control. Kind of like the interstates, folks. You want to drive the way you want to, regardless of what the rules are. And don't get me wrong, that's where the police come in, controlling the speeds and so forth, right or wrong. So it was a great exchange about the word at. If you're not familiar with the Lindy 6 arrival into New York City's airspace, understandably, that word at is very complicated. So, and if you can still find it out there, folks, there's plenty of ATC versus pilot conversations out there. Some of them are downright, you just go, what? And then, yeah, you just sometimes just shake your head at it. All right, so we're at 10,000. Well, if I set altitude select, let's make sure. Looks like I did. Let's get some power in, get below the 250. We did, okay. Carry 10,000, and then we'll set 8,000 for the approach. But yeah, you wouldn't think. We're going to go ahead, get things a little bit ahead of the game. Lights. But yeah, you wouldn't think in their world they would get like they did. It was interesting. And then another one, but totally unrelated, San Francisco Tower with United for takeoff. Yeah, you get it, but you're like, really? But you, but you know, it's one of those. Kind of makes you go, do I really want to be a pilot? All right, so I'm going to set 8,000 now for our descent. And we're going to make the turn to 037. T-Bird. Do we have 210s? We get to slow now. 210. Oh, that's why we had a hard time speeding up. All right, so we've got a speed restriction at 210, 8,000 feet, altitude select on. Okay. Now, here comes the fun. Let's get our heading bug set. It's supposed to be 037. Going to actually fly this. Well, actually, no, we've got. Okay, there's 210. Brakes down. Oh my, we are. Oh, we're at 8,000. My bad. I thought we were still coming down. Let's get back up to 210. Don't want a controller to get on our case. All right. So after that, we go Cabo. I actually, pending Tigers 5,000. Where's Tigers? I think that's where I'll turn in. Okay, down to 5,000. Get add-on. All right, let's get up here, set speed brakes. Medium. Let's get this bird back down under control here. Okay, frequency 1.5. All right, I need course. Two. 216. Okay, we're gonna make the turn. Nice gentle descent. Zero, 3, 0. Just 5. That's because speed brakes are out. Okay. And now VOR lock. I've got the runway in sight. Have a glide slope though. Now I do. Alright, so now we go to glide slope. Alright folks, we are cleared to land. 2-1 left. Runway in sight. $15 miles out. Alright, flaps 15. Just about to intercept glide slope. Glide slope. Flight attendants prepare for landing. Okay, 4,000 feet. Next approach altitude is 4,000, so we'll leave it. Some power. Roger, clear to land 2-1 left, northwest 1137. Okay, welcome back everyone as you're starting to get in here. We are flaps 25, 7-mile final. Flaps 30. Alright, cleared to land. Approach speed in place. We are getting bounced all over the place. Welcome back, flaps 30. We set flaps 40. That up. Good thing is we're not getting graded. Man, that's really stunk. We couldn't get Pegasus, the ACARS client work. Alright, let's get back into profile.
1,000.
Alright, and we're back on profile.
Flight slow. Flight slow.
Hey. Boy, it's
500.
bumpy today. In 30, flap set, brake set, pilot set, aircraft set, we're ready to land.
300. Sink rate. Sink rate. 100. Sink rate. 30. 20. 10.
Oh, blow a tire. Hang on, folks. Okay, that's weird. Yeah. Alright, well, we used more runway than I had anticipated. And we're clear of 2-1 left. It's 11:37 too. And we've already called ahead to tell them we're to need power and air. APU is Filbar. Now I forget, there is a X-Plane 11 scenery for here, freeware. I could never get it to work right. Just frustrated beyond belief. But this wasn't a bad kick off the Rust flight. Oh, yeah, we gotta get spoilers down. Wasn't a bad kick the Rust off me. You know, a little rough on the landing, but hey. I'm actually thinking about parking right down here. But I was anyway mentioning that there is a good, looks good. Let me put it that way. Looks good. Detroit freeware scenery. Like I said, I just for some reason could not get it to work right, and or look right or whatever it was. Something just never looked like it should. And back then, I was flying a lot of Detroit with, believe it or not, Piedmont Virtual. But then I went to 12, and we can't fly the 727 over there. So I kind of lost interest in trying to get it to work. All right, brakes are set. All right, they're putting the chocks in. And let's take a look at what else we need to do. Turn the radar off. Come up here. Transponders off. Navigation beacon. Okay, that's all good. Oh, I shouldn't do that yet. Dang it. All right, let's go ahead. Power. Now, SAM is no longer out there, folks. I'm working to get to the new OpenGL that'll work, so we can have it both in X-Plane 11 and 12 for the gates that require it, because there's no more updates. SAM is, I guess, no more animated scenery animation. Now, one big difference on the ground here with X-Plane 11 versus 12. Let's see what happened. Oh, we got the green. Good. All right. I'll shut the engines down here in a minute. We're not seeing ground traffic. All right. Pull that off. Let's get the engine shut down. All right. Shutdown checklist. Ignitions off. Pitot heats off. Pitot heat. Speed brakes are down. Flaps up. Galley power can be turned off. Fuel, hydraulics, AC pressure all set. And start levers to cut off. Oh, I'm trying to, what button did I hit? All right, and rotating beacon off. Disarm. Okay, and I believe we are good. Now it actually said keep the window heat on. Okay. All right, there you have it, folks. We're in. Unfortunately, I can't check with Pegasus to see how we did, but that's okay. We landed 529 feet a minute. That actually might be a good thing. Let's get Sim Toolkit up here. Finish the flight. Okay. All right. So there's the flight. Here's the initial details. Ugly, I guess. 1 hour, 24-minute flight, 355 miles, 4,431 kilograms, 1.6. That's actually not bad. 529 for the feet per minute, 118. We landed long. That was part of the problem. Actually, looks like nope, we were still in and way off to the left. What the heck? Not sure why we don't have any data. Interesting, it doesn't have a runway. Well, too late now to check. But anyway, as you can tell, we were way off. I'd say a very, very good 25, 30 feet off the center line. So we'll buy it. All right, folks, there you have it. Let's go ahead and pull this back. Now we'll fix this APU like new. Oh boy, that's scary. And I'm going to pull the jetway. We'll take a look at this thing coming in. Hopefully. Usually I've never had many problems here. All right, let's watch it together. Volume. Oh, thank you. Unfortunately, that was me on the throttles. Boy, that is one. Look at that crosswind, folks. Flared early. That's why. And you suck.
Inasuk 68 just cheered 100 bits. 23.30. So seriously need to get some shut-eye, but just wanted to wish you blue skies.
Well, get some sleep there. Thank you so much for the biddies. I really appreciate it. Thank you for being there, sir. Thank you. Have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow. Whatever I can figure out to fly, because I was thinking about flying this plane, but now I'm a little nervous. Now I can't sleep. Oh, well. All right, let's take a look at another view. Look at that crab coming in. See how I'm way over here? Yeah, I never pivoted for the... Wow. What a crosswind landing. All right, well, let's see if the tower saves the day for a good landing. I got a feeling it's not. Reason being, I think the bar is going to get in the way. Looks good. Yeah, see the flare early? That was the problem. Oh yeah, I'll give it. All right, folks. Well, we see the good, the bad, the ugly in it. It's all ugly. So anyway, folks, we had a great time. I hope you did. We're going to call it I am still trying to catch up from that marathon to Hawaii. Got another one staring me down, folks, to Japan. And not sure it's going to be next week. Just haven't decided what would be the better day. So, folks, you kind of did. In that situation, I needed to get it into a slip, a small slip to help it straighten up, fly right, straighten up and land right in my case. So anyway, folks, by the way, Shift F1 brings the air stare down. But we're looking to possibly fly this plane again. And see if we do better. I may just later tonight try to fly this again and get VAFs or get the ACAR program working. So we'll see. Well, folks, you all have a great night. I know I didn't play any music for that, but I really do hope you all have a great night. And we'll see you tomorrow. Probably it'll be after 1700 Zulu, between 17 and 18. Mondays are days, probably like others, I should take a break, especially in looking for a job and all. But I really do try to do all of that. Then I start the stream up. So just to kind of ease my mind at how bad things are right now in the States. So, all right. So you all have a great night. I hope you had a great Sunday, and we'll see you tomorrow. And as always, we're looking for someone to pass the baton to. Let's see. Well, folks, I have someone to hand you off to, and it'll be Iron Condor. You'll love his title. Here he comes. As soon as we get the countdown done. There we go. See you all tomorrow.